If I could guess one thing about Easter that is going through your mind right now, it'd probably be this. What have you heard this Easter Sunday that you haven't heard before? I'll bet you got the message that Christ is risen and our sins are forgiven, but what else did you take before you walked out the door? If you're an Easter Christian, or a Sunday Christian, or you're just trying to pass as someone who cares, I advise you listen closely to everything that you heard or will hear today, because the message of Jesus is so powerful, so overwhelming, and so amazing. But if you make a big deal out of it only once a year, you're missing the entire point. See, the cross isn't about tradition. It isn't about a one-time act that we celebrate the anniversary of. No, the cross and Jesus' rising from the grave is an act that impacts every waking second of our lives and more. Jesus is everything. Colossians 1:15-19 reads, "He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him. And he is before all things, and in him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he may have the preeminence." Think about the massive impact the event we celebrate today has on everything. And notice that I intentionally say has, not had, because this event is still working for us. On that third day, when Jesus rose from death, everything this entire world knew to be true was flipped upside down. Death was no longer the final say, sin was conquered, and the wrath of the Father was gone. So while we celebrate once again, let's remember this Easter why it is we celebrate. While this day marks the anniversary that rolls around once a year, let's realize that Christ's resurrection is still changing lives and is making all things new. Everything in creation, from the beginning of eternity and forevermore, points to this one action and stems from it. And you're invited, called, and implored to be a part of it. Christ is risen indeed.